Hi, and welcome to this Christmas and holiday retreat. We are going to do a few different things, all in the service of deepening and deepening into the practice for greater levels of rest and restoration. So we'll start with some basic poses, and they're going to be primarily restorative in nature. You do not need any kind of kit. Having a pillow from a bed is more than enough. If you happen to have more than that and you want to bring it along, go ahead, but it's not necessary. That's going to be followed by a breathing practice that allows a deepening into the self after we have these restorative poses, which are designed to allow the body to just sink into the earth and not use energy. That will be followed by a very special Yoga Nidra, which is about restoring the energy of the heart, nurturing love in the heart, and then we'll end with some loving kindness practice. Before we begin, I just want you to take a moment to think about why you have decided to join me today. What are you looking for within yourself, within life? What are you needing? And for a moment, just have your eyes downcast or closed. Feel yourself breathing in and out. Your head parallel to the ceiling with your chin tucked ever so lightly, the shoulders rolled back just a touch so that the chest can open. Notice the speed of your thoughts. Notice any areas of contraction within the body. Any areas of lightness. Your mood. And be conscious that I'm saying notice. I'm not asking for change. Just know all of these things about what are occurring in your mind and body in this moment. And allow your mind ever so gently to reside on the breath. To feel the inherent expansion that occurs on the inhalation and the settling back on the exhalation. And it's gentle. We're not trying to expand to huge depths or settle down all the way, shrinking into the earth. It's a subtle movement, but it's a movement nonetheless, and a constant one that you don't actually need to be engaged with to occur, which is a good thing. Imagine if you had to think about breathing all the time. And if possible, for a moment, forget that you are this self with these boundaries, with this skin, these lungs, and just experience expansion. Expansion is happening. And at the end of expansion, there's a weight and a settling. And expansion happens again. And a settling. A constant flow in the universal order of things. Expand and settle. Ascend, descend. And just feel this happening. Beyond a you, just expansion and settling. As you continue to do this, I'm going to move onto my mat. We're going to begin with some movements. But again, you're focused on expansion and settling. The first thing that we will begin with, as you inhale and expand, is we're going to have the palms up. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, touch at the top. And as you exhale and settle, the arms come down and you hug yourself. Expand, reach up again. Exhale, settle and hug yourself, other arm on top. Let's do that again. Inhale, expand. Exhale, other arm on top. One more time. Focus your eyes. Inhale, expand. Exhale, other arm on top. Good. And release down. Place your hands in front of your heart, palms touching. And from here, inhale, expand. And again, exhale, hug yourself. Inhale, expand. Exhale, come back, hugging yourself. Once more on each side. Inhale, expand. Exhale, hugging yourself. Inhale, expand. Exhale, hugging yourself. Good. And release down. And in this act of expansion, we want to be able to fill all of the different areas of the lungs. And we generally do this through our breathing, naturally, without effort, unless we have a health condition. But there are ways to really press the air into one side of the lungs so it gets the maximal amount of nourishment and then into the other side. So that's what we're going to do. Go ahead and place your right hand right on the outside of the right hip. You can be on your fingertips as I am. Keep yourself tall. Inhale, lift up the left arm. Exhale, soften. And you're going to reach over towards the right. Right? The shoulders continuing to soften. The hands are active. And from here, I want you to pay attention to your left side, your left lung. Don't collapse into the right. And notice as you breathe in, expansion really there, and settling back down. Keep going. Feeling the expansion and the settling. And even if I'm not saying it, please say it to yourself. It'll help you to be here, to be present in this practice. Inhale one more time, and as you exhale, bring the left arm down. And we're going to switch to the right side being the one that lifts. So the left hand, only have one left hand, right, is on the outside of the left hip. Inhale, lift up your right arm, soften at the shoulder, reach those fingers. Really see what I'm doing here, because you see it from the side, it's not quite the same. And again, soften. Do not collapse through the left side. And as you reach towards the left, draw the arm back a little bit and feel that there is more of an expansion in the right rib cage, the right lungs. And that's really happening due to the anatomical position. So we're pressing more in the air sacs, the alveoli. This is supporting greater oxygenation, not huge amounts, but meaningful. We're supporting the stretch of the lung wall on the right side and the intercostal muscles. It's enough talking for me. Just feel the expansion and settling. And release down. Now we're going to lift the arms up overhead. Just going to raise up. You can interlace the hands and press the palms up if you'd like, or you can simply be like that. Either way, make sure the shoulders are soft. Focus your eyes. You can have your eyes closed if you'd like. And as you're in this position, the heart has to work much harder to get the oxygen, the blood into the hands. It's not used to having something so high up above it. That works the heart, that causes more chesty breathing. And so we stretch the upper part of the lungs. They have less air sacs, but nonetheless, the stretch is helpful. The top of the lungs have no air sacs, by the way. We're working around the chest area. Inhale, exhale, release. And now the last position, in order to expand into a particular area of the lungs as a result of anatomical position, so interlace the hands behind the back, draw them away from the bottom. Relax the head a little bit. Doesn't need to sink, but you shouldn't be arching up either. This action, it stabilizes the muscles of the chest, and it naturally inspires diaphragmatic breathing. Just notice for yourself. Feel the expansion, the settling, ascending, descending. One more inhale, exhale, release. So now we are going to come to the ground, lying on our backs, so in supine. Right? You can have a cushion to the side if you like. I know most people like, zafus, those that have sand in them, but I sometimes like these mushy cushions for the bed. We all have our preferences. So please go ahead first and lie down in constructive rest. That is where the knees are bent, the hands are at the sides. And here, once again, feel the expansion and the settling. Notice the touch of the feet, the soles of the feet on the ground, the shoulder blades. And we're going to take our first restorative pose. And we're going to stretch through the whole side of the left body. So to do that, draw your hands up overhead and you're going to straighten your legs. Take your right wrist and wrap it around the right hand around the left wrist. And then place the right foot, just the right heel really, over the left ankle. And that's going to draw it a little bit to the side. So basically, you're stretching through the left arm through the left waist, through the left leg. You can close your eyes here if you'd like. And as you're here, once again, notice the expansion and notice the gentle settling. When we want rest and restoration, there are so many things that we can do. But when we're thinking about gentleness in poses, we want poses that are going to stretch large muscle groups. When that happens without force, that can bring ease to the body, because lots of information is being sent to the brain from the body saying, we're at ease, we're safe, we don't need to contract. A few more breaths here. If you want to pull the left hand up a little further and over to the right, go ahead, just a tiny bit. Inhale, and on your next exhale, release. Let the hands, the back of the hands be on the ground. Uncross the right foot from the left. Reach out far and go ahead, point the feet. Inhale, flex the feet as the hands come down to the sides, palms touching the ground. Inhale, lift the arms back, point the feet. Exhale, flex the feet as the palms come to the floor. And inhale, point as the back of the hands come to the floor. Exhale, bring the hands down. Great. And we're going to move into our next posture, which is a lying spinal twist. So you can either have your arms out as a T, or you can have cactus arms. Now, I'm not going to cue for you to move your neck. You can do so, but we're going to hold the position for a while. The neck is very delicate, and you only want to do that if you're sure that your neck is fine, no tension, nothing that is going to cause any distress later. So come back with the soles of your feet on the ground, your knees pointing upward, and you have two choices here. You can either roll the knees to the right, one stacked over the other, and if by any chance they don't touch the ground, feel free to place the cushion or whatever you have around you underneath. It's essential that the left shoulder blade remains on the ground. And so since we're here for a while, if that doesn't organically happen, you may want to place a pillow underneath the right knee. The other option is to cross the left over the right, doing the same thing. And again, you must have the left shoulder blade on the ground. So if that necessitates you placing a pillow underneath the knees in the right, go ahead. But once you've arrived, you're focusing on expansion, settling, and even the waiting in between, where there isn't movement. And personally, I could stay here for a really long time. This supine spinal twist inspires diaphragmatic breathing, and I find it provides so much ease. And also in the glutes and the piriformis, there's a stretch. And if you happen to have tension there, like I do, it gives you an opportunity to stay there, allow some opening without force. I'm going to be quiet for a moment as you continue to breathe. Continue to feel the expansion and settling. And when you're ready on the next inhalation, eyes up. If your legs are crossed, uncross them. If they weren't, well, you don't need to do that. And now you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So either both legs come to the left as the right shoulder blade remains on the ground, or you can cross the right knee over the left, and you can place something underneath the knees if you would like. If they don't come to the ground organically, you don't have to, but it is imperative that your right shoulder blade is on the ground. And once you've arrived, again, just paying attention to the expansion and the softening in this pose. And any other feelings of stretch or pulling that you are noticing. And try to let yourself be with those things with ease. If you find at any time that actually you don't feel ease, you should reduce the intensity because you want restoration, not levels of activity. We're not trying to strengthen muscles right now. We're trying to let tension melt away. We're trying to allow breathing to be healthy, natural, conducive to oxygenation for the cells. On your next inhale, eyes up, uncross the legs. Now the next posture is where it is likely that you will want some kind of cushion underneath you. We're just going to lift the legs up, but pillow, a block, a zapu cushion, any of these things will work. You want to place your body enough on the cushion, the zafu, or the block so that your lower back is kind of hanging over. And this will support your legs lifting up with less effort. For me, because this pillow is very thin, I'm going to place this other one on top. Right, just so I get even more of a lift. It makes it less effortful. I don't really have to use my abdominals. It feels more restorative to me. And as you're here, you can make circles with your ankles in each direction for a moment if you'd like. No more than 3 times in each direction. And then just allow yourself to be in the pose. To allow the lymph to come down to the heart with greater ease. This is good for inflammation. To feel the expansion of you and the settling of the breath. Just allow yourself to really soften as much as you can. It's okay if you have a little bend in the knee as well. They don't have to be fully straight. It's not necessary. And if you need to jiggle a little to get more comfortable, do it. Not continuously, but if you know you need to feel a little bit more comfortable, and you can by moving just a little bit this way or that way, do it. Keep being with the expansion, the settling, or you might even be the softening. Feel the process, the being part of, expanding out, the being part of, the settling. And whenever you're ready, bend your knees, roll to the side. Doesn't matter which side. And ever so gently, draw yourself a little bit up, not all the way. And I want you to come into a version of child. There are many versions. You can have your knees apart, your hands by your feet or forward. I'm choosing the version with the back of my hands on the ground near my feet and my forehead on the ground. This version I prefer because it creates a little bit more of a rounding in the lower back. It's a nice counter pose to any arch we have. And here, feel yourself gently expanding away from earth, settling back. And if your arms are by your feet as mine are, draw them forward. In an act of sort of bowing and honoring the earth with all of the mess that can occur within individual lives and the world around us. The planet is here. It's conspiring to keep you alive, even while so many things are compromising it acting with greatest efficiency. But it is here, giving air and life, water. So just pay homage to the planet for a moment. Express your thanks to the earth in whatever way you would like. And gently rise up. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to do is coherent breathing. Now, coherent breathing, I'm just going to change the view so you can see me more closely. There you go. Coherent breathing is really simple. It's breathing in for a count of 6, breathing out for a count of 6. So that means that one full breath is 12. And that means, therefore, that 12 or 60 divided by 12 is 5. It leaves us at 5 breaths a minute. So why do we engage in coherent breathing, and why am I choosing this for us today? Well, in coherent breathing, so many different physiological processes come into literal coherence. The cardiovascular, the respiratory, the neurological, to name 3 of the most important. And within that state, what happens is that stress can be released, changes in brain rhythms can arise, it can support better sleep if you're struggling with it. If you're holding emotion, it may well up. And that's totally fine if that happens, because emotion needs to be released. Right? So it has many different kinds of value. Various papers have been written on it, but this is not a day for research. Now, you can do this in any position you'd like. You can be cross-legged, sitting upright. You can lie down straight. You can be in constructive rest, which once again is where you're lying flat on your back. Your knees are pointing towards the ceiling and bent with the soles of your feet on the ground. Or you can even place your calves on a low chair or sofa and place a cushion just right under the sacrum. Have the hands out in a T like this and lie back in that way. It's often said that that allows the greatest ease in the diaphragm. Now there is going to be a cue for doing this. I am not going to count. It's a piano scale, and it will tell you to inhale from the beginning to the end, and then to exhale from the next to the end. It'll do that a few times, and then it'll just be the scales. Crucially, do not inhale and force the inhale to be longer than you need for the purposes of pushing the breath and being as long as the tones, as the scales. That will only undo the positive effects of this practice. The same with the exhalation. Do not push the exhalation to be longer because you think that that is necessary. Allow the exhale to be as long as it naturally can. We'll wait a few seconds, and then the scales piano will come again in the opposite direction, and you will follow in that way. Any pushing or pulling of the breath will undo the relaxing and coherent nature of this practice. If you do a lot of breath work, you may feel you'd like to inhale much longer and exhale much longer. And I'm sure that you can. Nonetheless, I ask you to try to remain only with this 6-6. Not only does this provide all of the benefits that I noted, but it is the ideal breath for most adults to optimize something called heart rate variability, which is a flexibility within the heart rate and is a measure of psychological and physical health. So even if you can do longer and want to, try to stay for 6-6. And also don't worry about perfecting the breath and the scales. Just allow it to happen. We're going to do this for about 15 minutes or so, maybe a few more. And then we will go into the Yoga Nidra. So go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. And feel free to pause this for a second as you do that. I'm going to pull up the tones, scale track. And I'm going to first help you to slow down your breath, and then you're just going to follow these scales. So beginning now with me, my count, gently inhaling, 1, 2, 3, exhaling, 1, 2, 3, inhaling, 1, 2, 3, exhaling, 1, 2, 3, inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
Inhale, inhale, inhale.
Now let yourself just be with your natural breathing. No trying to lengthen it or change it. Just notice what breathing is like after having engaged in this coherent breathing for just under 20 minutes. Feel the expansion where it is, the settling where it is, the expansion, the settling. Allow yourself to be breathing. And if you are lying flat on your back, remain there. If you are not, if you have your calves up on a chair, ever so gently, take them off or the sofa. If you are in constructive rest, you might want to have your legs straight or place just a pillow under the knees. You don't want to use any effort here, and you want to be supine. We're going to prepare for Yoga Nidra, one that was designed by Nishila Joy Devi, who worked with Dean Ornish on his program for the reversal of heart disease. It's literally to work with restoration for the physical heart, and I believe also for the metaphorical. And the version I'm going to share is from a Minded Institute graduate, and now my colleague who took that version and added a little bit to it, I believe making it even more potent. So get comfortable. Take your time. If you need, place a blanket over yourself. You can pause this if you need to get ready. And I'm going to begin. As you have made yourself comfortable, allow your legs to be about hip distance apart, or if you're using a yoga mat, as far apart as the mat. Your arms alongside the body, palms up, and they can be as far away as feels comfortable. Take a moment to look around the ceiling and the things you can see, and allow your eyes to gently blink closed. I'm going to guide you through this process. Allow my voice to take you from one aspect of your being into the next. And before we go into a deep guided relaxation, we're going to go through a squeezing and releasing process through the body to help release physical tension. Start by bringing your attention to your right leg. Stretch your right leg away from you and open the toes of your right foot. Really spread and stretch the toes. Now relax the toes and flex your right foot so your toes come towards your nose. Begin to squeeze the muscles of your right leg from your ankle to your knee all the way up to your hip. Squeeze tight. And holding this squeeze, inhale. Raise your right leg up a few inches off the ground. Hold. And gently exhale and lower the right leg down, relaxing any of the tension. And move the right leg and foot back and forth a few times. And now forget about the right leg. Let it completely relax. Stretch your left leg away from you and open the toes of your left foot. Really spread and stretch the toes. And now relax the toes and flex your left foot so your toes come towards your nose. Begin to squeeze the muscles of your left leg from your ankle to your knee, all the way up to your hip. Squeeze the muscles tight. Holding the squeeze, inhale, raise your left leg just a few inches off of the ground. Hold. And now exhale gently, lower that left leg down, relaxing any tension, and move the left leg and foot side to side. Now forget about the left leg. Let it completely relax. Bring your attention to your right arm. Stretch your right arm away from you, down towards your feet. Open all of the fingers of your right hand nice and wide. Really spread and stretch your fingers. And relax the fingers. Begin to curl the fingers inward, squeezing the hand into a fist. And then start to squeeze the muscles of your right arm from the wrist to the elbow, all the way up to your shoulder. And holding the squeeze, inhale, raise the right arm a few inches off the ground, holding the breath in the arm. And exhale gently and lower the right arm back down. Uncurl your fingers and move your right arm and hand side to side a few times. And then forget about your right arm. Let it completely relax. Stretch your left arm away from you towards your feet. Open the fingers of your left hand nice and wide. Really spread and stretch the fingers. Relax the fingers. Begin to curl the fingers inward to make a fist. And start to squeeze the muscles of your left arm from the wrist to the elbow, all the way up to your shoulder. Holding the squeeze, inhale and raise the left arm up a few inches off the ground. Hold the arm up in the breath. And gently exhale and lower the left arm back down. Uncurl your fingers and move your arm and hand left to right, side to side, and then forget about your arm. Let it completely relax. Now bring your attention to your buttocks. Begin to squeeze the muscles of your buttocks. And as you are squeezing, inhale. and a natural lift of the buttocks will occur. Pause. And then exhale, relax the buttocks back down. Feel the muscles soften into the ground. Guide your attention to your belly. Take a long, slow inhale and feel your belly rising upward and outward. Pause. Exhale and feel the lower belly, the belly lower down as you gradually draw your navel in towards your spine. Relax the abdominal muscles. Shift your attention to your chest. Take an inhale breath and feel your chest rising upward and outward. Pause. Exhale and feel your chest relax back down. Guide your attention to your shoulders. Begin to scrunch your shoulders upwards towards your ears. Pause. Exhale and relax your shoulders back down towards your hips, arms alongside with your palms facing up. Bring your attention to your face. Consider the nose as the center of your face and squeeze all of your muscles towards the center, towards the nose. Hold. Exhale and relax all the muscles of your face. And allow your head to rotate one time to the right, allowing its weight to take you gently to the right side. And then gently let your head come up to the center. And allow your head to rotate one time to the left, letting the weight of the head just drop slowly to the left. And gently rotate your head back to the center. Now it is time to completely relax. I'm going to ask you to take some long, slow, gentle inhale breaths and to guide these breaths to certain parts of your body. On the exhale, you will completely relax that part of your body. Start by bringing your attention all the way down to your feet. Take a long, slow, gentle inhale breath and guide this breath all the way down to the tips of your toes. On the exhale, invite your toes to relax, all 10 toes. Take another long, slow inhale breath and guide this breath to the soles of your feet. On the exhale, invite the soles of your feet to relax, the balls, the arches, and the heels. Next, send the inhale breath all the way down to the tops of your feet and ankles. Exhale and soften the tops of your feet and ankles. Guide your next inhale breath all the way down the entirety of your legs. Exhale and relax your calves, knees, thighs, and hips. Allow your breath to return to normal and observe how heavy both legs have become. Heavy with relaxation. Shift your attention to your fingertips. Take a long, slow, gentle inhale breath and guide this breath all the way down to your fingertips. Exhale and invite your fingers to relax, all 10 fingers. Send your next inhale breath to the palms of your hands. Exhale and soften your hands, the front and the back of your hands. Guide your next inhale breath all the way down the entire length of your arms. Exhale and relax your wrists, forearms, elbows, upper part of your arms and your shoulders. Allow your breath to return to normal and observe how heavy both arms have become. heavy with relaxation. Shift your attention to your pelvic area. Take a long, slow inhale breath and guide this breath to your pelvic area. Exhale and relax your pelvis, your belly, and notice your abdominal organs soften. Send your next inhale breath to the area of your chest, lungs, and heart. Exhale and feel this area soften. Inhale gently into the area of your throat. Exhale and relax your throat. Gently inhale all the way down the entire length of your spine. Exhale and relax your lower back, middle back, and upper back. Guide your next inhale breath to the area of your shoulders and shoulder blades. Exhale and soften your shoulders and shoulder blades. Send your next inhale breath to the area of your neck and the base of your head. Exhale and relax your neck and the base of your head. Allow your breath to return to normal and observe how heavy your torso has become. Heavy with relaxation. Inhale slowly and gently into the area of your face. Exhale, soften your chin, your jaw, your mouth. Inhale into your mouth. Exhale, soften the lips around your mouth, the tongue inside your mouth, and the roof of your mouth. Inhale into the sides of the face. Exhale, relax your cheeks, your ears, and your nose. Inhale into the temples. Exhale, soften your eyes, your eyelids, your eyelashes, and your eyebrows. Relax your forehead, the sides of your head, your temples, brain, and scalp. Inhale into the temples. Exhale, soften your eyes, your eyelids, your eyelashes, and your eyebrows. Relax your forehead, the sides of your head, your temples, brain, and scalp. Allow the breath to return to normal and observe how heavy your head has become. Heavy with relaxation. Now, notice how calm your mind has become. Observe your entire body. Notice how heavy your entire body has become. Heavy with relaxation. Observe your natural breath, the gentle inhalation and exhalation of the natural breath, the expansion and the settling. And now guide this breath all the way down to your hands. Exhale and let go of anything you may be holding on to with your hands and your arms. Just let it go. Send your next gentle inhale into your shoulders. Exhale and let go of any burdens that may be weighing you down at the shoulders. Feel those burdens lifting and floating away. Inhale into the shoulders. Exhale and let go of any burdens that may be weighing you down at the shoulders. Feel those burdens lifting and floating away. Guide your next gentle inhale breath into your abdomen, chest, lungs, and heart. And as you exhale, release any old pains, any fears, any hurt. Replace them with courage. Inhale into your abdomen, chest, lungs, and heart. Exhale, release any old pains, fears, hurt. Replace them with courage. Inhale into your throat. And exhale as you release any unsaid words that may be stuck in your throat. Inhale, breathe all the way down the entire length of your spine. And as you exhale, release any deep-seated heartache, from behind your heart. Inhale down your spine. Exhale, release any deep-seated heartache from behind your heart. Inhale, breathe into the area of your neck. And as you exhale, allow the connection between your heart and your mind to open. Inhale into the neck. Exhale, allow the connection between your heart and mind to open. Send your next gentle breath into the area of your face and allow your eyes and your ears to soften and to draw inward into the inner sights and sounds. Feel the gentle breath. Feel the lightness of your body. Continue to go inward to that place of peace, joy, and stillness. Here you simply watch the inhale and the exhale, the inhale and the exhale, the expansion and the settling. Just this. Keep watching the breath, bringing the mind back to it gently. And now for the next 5 minutes, you are going to remain in a place of deep stillness. This is the place where full healing takes place, deeper healing takes place. Allow yourself to be at peace here with your own true nature, the nature of breath, the nature of just being. Be in complete silence now to cultivate this sense of inner joy and inner stillness. And now, with renewal and rejuvenation and relaxation, continue to just be with a sense of peace, joy, and healing and energy. Be mindful that you can create these conditions from the inside. Keep these feelings with you for the rest of the day and come back to this practice at any time if it has helped you to feel refreshed. Allow healing energy to flow through your body. And gently, we are going to bring our attention back to the present moment, more to the collective. Let your breathing become a little bit deeper, gentle but deeper, as you start to guide your attention to the collective, listening to my voice, and then notice any other sounds you hear inside, where you are, far away from you. Let your breathing still become a little deeper but gentle, and bring some movement back. Begin by wiggling your toes gently, and continue to wiggle your toes. And begin to wiggle your fingers. And as you continue to wiggle your toes and your fingers, start to open and close your hands. Keeping the movement of the toes and the fingers and hands, begin to slowly rotate your head from left to right. And then gradually open your eyes as you're rotating your head, but do so ever so gently. And the next time that your head comes back to the center, let it remain there. Hug both your knees in towards your chest and gently rock side to side. You can close your eyes again if you'd like. And then pause for a moment on your right hand side. We are going to come to our next practice, loving kindness or metta meditation with a dash of compassion or karuna. You can do this lying down. You can also do it seated. Sitting up often helps with alertness, but it is important that you feel at ease. So take a moment and decide how you want to do this next practice, the last of today's retreat. Give you a moment to either settle back down into lying or bring yourself up to seated. And you can also sit on a sofa or a chair, anywhere that is comfortable for you. And so, in whatever position you have chosen, come back to your breath. Your natural breath, feeling the expansion, the settling, the expansion, the settling. And I ask you to bring your attention to yourself. I am going to guide this loving kindness, this metta. When I talk about you, I'm going to say I, and you can imagine that you are saying it in your own voice, or you can in your mind say it with me. Take a moment to reflect on your difficulties in life, not as something to indulge in pain and suffering and upset, but just to be mindful of the things that may be enduringly difficult. Maybe it's what brought you to this retreat. Maybe not. But just take a moment to reflect honestly after having engaged in this practice and say to yourself, may I be happy and peaceful, healthy and at ease. May I be able to take care of myself joyfully, and may I possess the patience, wisdom, courage, and determination to meet the challenges of my life. And send yourself this loving kindness. Imagine that it is cascading over you. And in fact, imagine that as you inhale and you expand with loving kindness. And as the breath settles, it settles back into your being. As you inhale, you expand with loving kindness towards yourself. As you exhale, it settles into the depth of your being. And then consider those who are closest to you. It might be friends, family, co-workers, a partner. It may not be human beings, it may be animals, something else. Whoever in your life you feel connected to in any way. Those beings, like you, will struggle. And maybe you're aware of their struggles, their challenges. Maybe you are not. But understand, as they are alive, they will have them. And wish these beings who are close to you to be happy and peaceful, healthy, and at ease. May they be able to take care of themselves joyfully, and may they possess the patience, wisdom, courage, and determination to meet the challenges of their lives. And let the metta come down upon them like a golden cascade of energy and light. And as you breathe in, imagine that metta getting larger. And as you exhale, imagine that it settles into the depths of all of these beings, expanding. The inhale, the metta grows. Exhale, it settles deep into all of these beings. Consider all of those who have done this retreat, live, not live, long after it was delivered, that they too, like yourself, have challenges. And wish all of these beings who have been part of this retreat to be happy and peaceful, healthy, and at ease. May they be able to take care of themselves joyfully, and may they possess the patience, wisdom, courage, and determination to meet the challenges of their lives. And really allow all of these beings, many of whom you may not know, possibly all, to experience the golden energy of metta. And as you inhale, that metta expands. As you exhale, it settles. As you inhale, it expands. As you naturally exhale, it settles into your being, into their being rather. And really send your metta. And now consider all of the beings who have done this retreat with me on the day, those who have not. Then consider all of those in your community. Whether you are conscious or not conscious of it, all of the beings in your community will have struggles and challenges. And wish these beings, the community where you reside, to be happy and peaceful, healthy, and at ease. May they be able to take care of themselves joyfully, and may they possess the patience, wisdom, courage, and determination to meet the challenges of their lives. And let the metta cascade down over them, golden light. And as you inhale, naturally that metta grows. As you exhale, that metta settles into all of these beings. As you inhale, it expands. As you exhale, it settles into all of those beings. Really send your metta, your loving kindness. Now consider the nation where you live. In the nation where you live, there will be many beings, human and not human, who, because they're alive, will struggle, will have challenges you know and understand, things that are beyond your awareness. Consider that for a second and wish all of the beings in your nation to be happy, peaceful, healthy, and at ease. May they be able to take care of themselves joyfully, and may they possess patience, wisdom, courage, and determination to meet the challenges of their life. And allow golden light and energy to settle upon all of the beings in the nation where you are. And as you inhale, this metta grows and expands. As you exhale, it settles down into the nation, being sown into the hearts of all of the beings and the essences for those that may not have hearts. Expand the metta, let it settle. And now consider the continent on which you reside, that there will be beings of all types, that because they're alive and it is the nature of existence, will have struggles, like you, like those in your community and your nation. Wish those beings to be happy and peaceful, healthy, and at ease. May they be able to take care of themselves joyfully, and may they possess the patience, wisdom, courage, and determination to meet the challenges of their life. And let this golden cascade of light go across the whole continent where you are. And as you inhale, the metta expands. It keeps getting stronger as you send it to more and more beings. And as you exhale, it settles in to the breath of beings that you are sending it to. Inhaling, the metta grows. Exhaling, that metta lands, impacts each of these beings, and collectively, again, expand and let it settle. And now take into your mind the entirety of this planet. There's so many beings on the earth, in the oceans, in the sky, beings that you're familiar with and not. But through the nature of being alive, all of these beings struggle in their own way. Wish all of these beings to be happy and peaceful, healthy, and at ease. May they be able to take care of themselves joyfully, the whole world, possessing the patience, wisdom, courage, and determination to meet the challenges of their life. And imagine a gold light encircling all of the earth. This is your metta. And as you inhale, you envision the planet breathing out with you, the love getting stronger. As you exhale, it settles in like a thick and gentle blanket onto the earth. As you inhale, it becomes light and open, expansive. As you exhale again, like a blanket, so softly, bringing warmth and comfort. One more time. And now come back to yourself, seeing that it is part of being alive to struggle, to suffer. That doesn't make it easy, but it is part of being here. So with that awareness, wish yourself to be happy and peaceful, healthy and at ease, saying to yourself, may I be able to take care of myself joyfully, and may I possess the patience, wisdom, courage, and determination to meet the challenges of my life. And allow yourself to be enveloped by this golden light. As you inhale, it gets bigger. And as you exhale, it's a little bit more dense, pushing that loving kindness into each one of your cells. Again, as you inhale naturally, it becomes larger. And as you exhale, a little bit more dense to all of your cells. And keep envisioning this with your breath. I'm just going to read you part of the Metta Sutta. So this is a discourse on loving kindness from the Theravadan Buddhist tradition. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but some of it. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another, nor despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. With a boundless heart, one should cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outward and unbounded, free from hatred or ill will. Whether standing, walking, seated, or lying down, one should sustain this recollection. And now return to your natural breath. where you have been as I was reading that. Letting go of the visualization and just feeling yourself as this breathing being, expanding and settling, continuously becoming yourself in every moment with every breath. Understanding that the more aware you are of this process, the more you link to your essence and your nature. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you well, and please come back to this if any of it was helpful for you. Take care.